In 1904, she published her first article in a weekly newspaper and was soon writing reviews and other short pieces. She also taught at Morley College, an evening institute for working men and women. Here she had her main experience of the kind of people who read books rather than write them. She appreciated their intelligence and saw how they suffered because of their relative lack of education. That she worked here for 3 years, when her income meant that she did not need to work at all, must be some measure of her interest and concern. In 1906, Toby died of typhoid, which he caught on holiday in Greece. Only 2 days later, Vanessa became engaged to Clive Bell. They kept the Gordon Square house after their marriage, and Adrian and Virginia moved a few hundred yards to Fitzroy Square. They still spent much time together, and as little as a year after the wedding, Clive and Virginia began a flirtation which was to continue for some years. She was certainly not in love with Clive. Indeed, it seems that her main motivation was her loneliness in the face of her sister's married happiness. Of course, this behavior didn't bring Vanessa any closer to her. Virginia was a sparkling talker, not least because of her almost uncontrolled imagination. She would introduce newcomers with entirely invented descriptions of their lives and characters. In her conversation and her letters, she tended to describe in her brilliant and imaginative way things as she felt they ought to be, rather than as they were. In 1910, there were 2 distinct parts to the Bloomsbury group. Centred around Vanessa and Clive were an art set who included Roger Fry, who was responsible for the first post-impressionist exhibition in London. Literary Bloomsbury included Lytton Strachey and Virginia, who was still writing reviews and was working hard at her first novel. E.M. Forster was also a part of the circle.